Welcome back to Inside Toronto Real Estate. I know we have a lot to cover. I'm going to try to get through our new feature, The Real News, as quickly as possible. In The Real News, we dig behind the curtain and some recent articles and show how they impact your bottom line. The first article we have is from the Globe and Mail on March 28th, titled "Transit Problems Across Canada Prompt Calls for Politicians to Address the Issues." The article writes, "Commute times in Canadian cities are no longer a source of rush hour irritation, but a national liability affecting economic performance of urban centers, requiring immediate intervention from Ottawa." It also states that the rankings of the Board of Trade's annual scorecard on prosperity, which measures the city on a number of economic, social, and structural indicators, suggests that Canadian cities are on the brink of crisis. Toronto has dropped from 4th to 8th on this ranking because of transit issues. The average round trip time in Toronto is 80 minutes, which I honestly think 80 minutes is fantastic. It takes me more than an hour to get to our studio from Yorkdale Mall along the 401. This is unacceptable. Toronto needs an urgent, continued massive transit investment. Not only will it reduce commute times, it will also make transit in our city, it would also make our city more livable and your real estate more valuable. It goes without saying, we need to have sustained transit investment from the federal and provincial government, and transit decisions should be completely taken out of the election cycle, where a previous government can make an announcement to commit to funding to transit. It can be just as easily taken out by the next government. Remember Network 2011, Mike Harris? I bet you wish you took the decision to sack the Eglinton line back. The next article we have, in line with governments making promises and not keeping them, we have an article from yesterday's Globe. Ontario budget cuts, new courthouse funding rebuffs Ford's request. The article writes of a handful of Toronto-specific announcements in the budget. The biggest cut of all is the cancelling of the construction of a $181 million Toronto West Courthouse, stated in the old Westwood Theatre lands in Rob Ford's backyard, Etobicoke. Conceived as a way of easing massive backlog to the Ontario justice system, the construction tenders were supposed to go out actually this year. This project was not only going to be a means of getting rid of the backlog in the courts, it was also part of a huge urban renewal strategy for the area. The courthouse was going to be an architecturally significant building. It would have brought in legal office and court jobs to the area. It was part of a huge revitalization efforts of Dundas Street and Etobicoke. City planners are going to get rid of those loopy ramps connecting Bloor Street and Dundas Street to Kipling, making it more pedestrian friendly, and building condos along the south side of Dundas going all the way to Shorncliffe. The area, that courthouse would have been an anchor for a lot of the revitalization efforts, and it's too bad it's going to be canceled. Also note in the article that the provincial government would follow through on its promises, which is really great, of $10 million towards the announced Global Risk Institute of Financial Services, which would bring more high-paying jobs into Toronto, and includes ongoing upload of social assistant costs, so it would be able to ease the tax on property taxes. A program would actually would be worth $399 million a year by 2018. $133.4 million to the phase out of GTA pooling, $160.8 million from the gas tax, and $300 million to automate the Yonge subway line. Rob Ford did try to ask for $153 million in extra new funding, but was denied.